Change for the Bruins. Number 15, Connor Apligian. He'll start things off with a strike. To the DH, number 8, Tyler Johnson. Johnson bunted into an out back in the first inning. Here he goes again, shows bunt, gets it down towards the third base. He stays on his feet this time, makes it all the way to first, but not in time. Had a rough go at it last time he attempted to bunt. The body was going faster than feet this time. Puts it down, gets over to first, moves the runners over again, just as he did back in the first. So runners at second and third for the Bengals. This time just one out. Next up, number 24, Bennett Clement. Clement 1 for 1 and scored a run so far here this evening. Apligian on the mound, left-handed pitcher, 6'1", 190 out of Northville, Michigan. Played at Catholic Central. Swing and a miss by Johnson. Took him out of his shoes. By Clement. As he leaned into that one. Down 0-2 in the count now. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at second and third. It's Husser and Falk. Swing and a miss. The ball in the dirt. Catcher looks back. The runners throw over to first in time. And the Bengals have 2 outs.
Now it's up to number 17, Cash Riley.
Next up, number 17, Cash Riley, the third left fielder. Walked in the first and scored a run. Bengals enjoy an 8-3 lead. A 5-run advantage. Here in the second inning. That pitch in for strike number 2. So Riley down 0-2 in the count with 2 outs. Runners in scoring positions for the Bengal. The pitch, swing and a miss. Welcome back to the bottom of the third inning. Your Bengals lead 8-4. Starting things off, number 9, Evan Jobert, third baseman. Jobert 1 for 1 with a score here in today's matchup. That pitch doesn't break quite enough. That'll even things up at 1-1. And that one does catch the outside corner. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Jobert. He'll step back in, no outs. Hits that one over towards the third base side and just foul. Jobert would have ran a long ways. That one rolled all the way down to the outfield fence. Count stays 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. And that one does stay fair, but towards the left fielder, Thus. But Jobert has got himself a base hit here in the third inning. Next up, number 20, Andrew Lee. Just joining us. First inning saw the Bengals batting the order, scoring 6. Bruins come back and cut it in half, scoring 3 in the top of the second inning. Bengals put 2 on the board in the bottom side. And Bruins have put 1 in the top side of this third inning. Bengals now with no outs have a runner on first, the leadoff batter, Jobert. And now at the plate, facing a 1-ball, no-strike count with no outs, is Lee. Lee got thrown out in a steal attempt back in the first. Wind whipping here in the Cajun Prairie. Bobbling the hit is Piasecki. And he won't get the leadoff runner Jobert, but he'll catch Lee over at first for out number 1.
Number 5, Dawson Willis.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Bengals. Number 5, Dawson Willis. Willis 2 for 2, couple of singles and 2 runs scored here so far this evening. He'll step in with 1 out, runner in scoring position. That's Jobert. He watches the first pitch in for ball number 1. One ball, no strikes. And that one right down the middle. That'll even things up at 1-1. To the right-handed batting shortstop. Pickoff attempt towards second. Pitcher keeps the ball. Jobert quickly retreats. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Runner goes to third. And Jobert in under the tag. Wrapped around the top side of the base. So runner now at third base, that's Jobert. 2-1 the count to Willis. 1 out. Pitch, swing and a miss. Off of the shin guards of the catcher Pena, but he'll quickly track it down. Keep Jobert over at third. But that evens things up at 2-2. Time called. And 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's a big swing, but not able to take in strike number 3 is Pena. So he'll have to hold it a bit to try to hold Jobert on third, and that's not going to happen. As soon as he released to get the out at first, Jobert was gone. And he scores here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Now he's taking base number 37, Tyson LeBlanc.
Next up, number 37, Tyson LeBlanc. So LeBlanc, 1 for 2 with a triple and a run scored. He'll step in with 2 outs and the base is cleared after the score from Jobert. The pitch finds its spot. 2 balls, 1 strike now to LeBlanc. 2 straight strikes. That'll even things up at 2-2. Swing and a miss. And again, Pena has to take it out of the dirt, throw over to first, but it is in time for out number 3. So that'll retire the side, but Bengals put... Welcome back to the Cajun Prairie. We get started here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Leading things off, number 14, Weston Folk, the first baseman. Folk will watch the first one in for ball number 1. Falk in the first inning, a hit for a run scored, and then reached on base on balls in the second. Here in his third at bat, looking at 1-1 count. That ball with some movement, can't find its spot. 2 balls, 1 strike. Falk puts that one out into right field for a base hit. His second here this evening. So leadoff batter on here for the Bengals for the 4th inning in a row. They've had the leadoff batter on and had them score in all of the 3 innings here this afternoon. Next up, number 7, Colin Husser. Pickoff attempt towards first. Folk in safe. Husser was hit by a pitch and scored in the first, and had a base hit and was stranded in the second. That pitch curves in, but not quite enough. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two-0 pitch from Apligian. Again, a lot of movement on that one, and it finds its spot. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike, no outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bengals have a base runner over on first. That's Folk. Hustler at the plate. He's now looking at 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch. Not here yet. An attempt over to first on the pickoff. The 3-1 pitch from the lefty. That one hit high and over the lights. Out of play. That'll bring the count full. Third full count pitch by the Bruins pitching staff here this evening. That one outside. And Hustler now on base, all 3 at-bats here this evening. So runners at first and second for the Bengals. Next up will be number 8, Tyler Johnson, the DH. Johnson has bunted runners over in this same position. Runners at first and second. He's bunted them over in both of his at-bats. First one, he stumbled and went down on the base path towards first. Second one, he made it, but he was thrown out. We'll see if they attempt to bunt here third time, and he indeed will not. That hit will bounce right in front of the center fielder. And that'll be a base hit for Johnson. Straightaway center field. The bases are loaded for the Bengals here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And that'll bring up number 24, Bennett Clement. Clement 1 for 2. He scored in the first and struck out in the second. Clement swing and a miss. He'll step in with no outs and the bases loaded. Clement out of St. Francisville, Louisiana, played ball at West Feliciana High School. Swing and a miss again. Ball gets away from Pena, but he'll quickly track it down and hold the runners. Third base coach urging Clement to just settle down in there. Big opportunity here for Clement. He watches that one down and in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch here to the right fielder. On the way. Swing and a miss. Clement goes down on strikes for out number 1. Next up, number 17, Cash Riley, the third. Walked in the first, struck out in the second, scored a run back in the first. The 5th of 6 runs in the first inning for the Bengals as they lead 9-4 here in the 4th. The 0-1. That one catches the outside corner. And Riley quickly down 0-2 in the count. Oh, 2 pitch, swing and a miss. And Riley goes down swinging, 2 outs now. Here for the Bengals with the bases loaded. Now number 9, Evan Jobert will get an attempt to score some runs here for the Bengals. Extend the lead. 2 for 2 on the evening for Jobert. 2 runs scored. First pitch, swing and a miss. No balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, bases still loaded for the Bengals. The 0-1 pitch, that one chopped over towards the third base side, foul. Right over the head of Folk. So again, Bengal batter down quickly, 0-2 in the count. The last 2, unfortunately, ended in strikeouts. We'll see if Jobert can hit him one here into a gap. The 0-2 pitch. Called strike number 3. So 3